Spend 3 hours with me on my Sunday while I meal prep. It always starts with a nice coffee with some protein added to it. This is so good. And then I made a cinnamon swirl bread earlier in the week, so I enjoyed a piece of that with some butter on it and some flaky sea salt. It was delicious. And then it was time to get to work. First off, I made our egg bites for the week. I did go ahead and show everything that goes into this, but then for the rest of the meals, we're just going to do a little quick snapshot of each one. But this is 13 eggs, a little bit of cream, a little bit of water, and then I fry up some bacon, and I also fry up some sausage that we're going to chop up. Well, I take it out of the casing. It just makes it easier and faster to cook up. And then preheat the oven to 350. Once everything is done, I also get rid of the bacon grease in a container so I can actually save it and use it for cooking throughout the day, or I just toss it. But there's a sausage that goes into 15 egg muffin molds. Then I get all those eggs mixed up, and I put 1/4 cup into each mold. Then Dan comes in for another cup of his coffee. I top each cup with bacon because I find that keeps it crispier than if I put it on the bottom. They cook up for 23 minutes. Once the 23 minutes is up, they come out, and once they start to peel away from the sides, you know that they're done. Then it's time for drink number 2. That's my collagen. And then I do my first meal, which we did rice, and I made burger bowls. So I made some pickles beforehand, so I added those to his container, rice with the jalapeno burgers, and a side of mustard. His second meal was rice with meatballs, which I used like a ranch seasoning sauce, and then I also fried up some bacon on top. This was rice noodles. My husband has a very sensitive stomach, so I fried up, made like some beef for that, and then I made Philly cheese bowls. He loves steakums, so I used that with peppers, and then I saved the rest of the rice for the rest of the week. I made some fresh kombucha for us that will start just cooking or setting in the pantry for about 3 days, but you guys are always curious of what that looks like. So that's my SCOBY. His name is Scooby. And then for the one that needs to get bottled, I made a blueberry ginger sauce for each one. So you pour a little bit of that, and then you put the fermented kombucha into each one. Those will get locked up, and I'll set those in the pantry for about 3 to 4 days to create more bubbles, more gas. You want that lid to be really tight on it. And then after 3 to 4 days, I'll put it in the fridge for another 3 to 4 days before we enjoy it. And then I made a big old pot of coffee for myself for the week for iced coffee and ground beef. Whew, and that's 3 hours. That's what meal prep looks like.